When Rush made his All Elite Wrestling debut during Double or Nothing 2022, many AEW fans were probably unaware of the wrestler's history in CMLL and Ring of Honor. It was in CMLL where Rush established himself as a top-level wrestler and was often involved in the main event matches there. It was in CMLL where he developed a refined bad guy, or as they say in Lucha Libre, rudo persona. Rush would portray a one-time hero who was rejected by the fans, only to embrace the negative and become the most hated wrestler in CMLL. Rush would form a partnership with La Sombra and form a stable called Los Ingobernables that would go on to be represented in New Japan Pro Wrestling, AAA, Ring of Honor, and All Elite Wrestling.
Azul ya sabe, lo dice la bestia del ring.
Escucharon a mi padre, el presente, el futuro de la lucha libre. Ahora sí les queda bien claro, ingobernables en todo el mundo, ingobernables Japón, ingobernables Estados Unidos, ingobernables donde se creó, donde nació esta facción, la número 1, ingobernables en México. ¿Por qué? Porque ya lo vieron, estamos invadiendo todo el mundo, redes sociales, y donde nos paremos, ya lo vieron. Naito, Hiromu, mi padre, Andrade, el papi y todos. ¿You understand me? Tal vez no. Mi vida cambió. Los Ingobernables forever. Hiromu. Sombra es número 1. Y no pasa nada.
I'm telling people on this channel to subscribe, and they won't.
Yes.
What can we do about that? Can you help me out? Maybe if you tell them to subscribe, they'll do
You
it.
threaten them. I'll threaten them
Yeah,
for
if
you.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah. You don't have to do it till you're cursed.
Rush would eventually go on to represent his faction in Ring of Honor, starting in 2018, and it's here he would start a feud with Matt Taven, who he would defeat for the Ring of Honor World Championship.
I could go out there tonight and expose my goods for everyone to see, and they would roar in amazement, but nothing gets my nipples harder than upsetting a bunch of Melvins, so I'm gonna wait until the time is right. Cause I am a king! I'm Matt Taven!
Rush, there was a miscommunication because one of the things is he didn't even talk to me, and we have a really good relationship, and I'm actually the one that helped him get into the United States. But he was mad because we weren't using him enough. But one of the things is, and Larry would know this, they had a feud, I don't know if you remember, was against the Dynamite Brothers. Now one of them
Yes.
Now, one of the Dynamite Brothers is the guy that they put in jail for supposedly choking that girl wrestler. So it was very hard to do anything because this guy's in jail. I thought he was going to get out quick, so I was waiting for him to get out, so I wasn't giving him work. Plus, Rush, bro, he charges a lot of money. And it's like, bro, you're not in the United States. I have a budget. And when I put you on the show, you eat up 1/4 of my thing. I'd rather bring in 2 or 3 other wrestlers. And you know what I'm saying? So I thought what he did was very unprofessional. And I also had another wrestler tried to pull that with me not too recently, and I'm not going to forget it either. But, they get power. They're in the United States, and they abuse their power, and they do like this. And he got a lot of heat because, bro, you're the one that's looking bad. You're the one that's pulling out. But here's something that he said, and I want to ask Larry a question.
Sure.
Did you read when he said, "Oh, Parker, we don't need to be in AAA because we can find a serious promoter to do our hair versus mask match"? 2, who has a bigger platform than us in Mexico for them to do that match?
The only, and I could be completely wrong on this, besides Triple Mania would be an Arena Mexico match, but Rush can't work CMLL, right?
Okay, all right.
So,
right. So let me tell you something and that people don't know. We've been trying to get them to do this match for 3 years. They don't want to do it. Rush is probably thinking, I'm going in there and I'm going to get over. I'm a star because Jim goes, oh, well, he's not a star in the U.S. Well, he was in ROH, which isn't that big a deal, but to him it is, because he went in there, they gave him the title immediately. They brought in his dad, who's a wrestler. They brought in his brother, Dragon Lee, who's incredible, who's now in WWE.
Much like all these stupid, filthy, ugly Americans, you never ever shut up!
I know how talented you are. You come from wrestling royalty. Your father is a Lucha Libre legend. You sold out, I'm getting serious now, when you sold out arena after arena in Mexico. You proved you were an international superstar. You came to the US, and in record time, you became a Ring of Honor World Champion. You stepped foot here in AEW, and you managed to bludgeon some of the best this sport has to offer.
You'll often hear Rush say, "No pasa nada." This translates to, "Nothing happened." Basically, he's telling his opponent that they do not matter and are not worth his time. This is the same message he is sending when he pretends to play football during the match. However, if Rush is enraged, he will disregard the rules to a point of disqualification and will often be seen breaking the rules in general. Rush really hasn't done much in AEW to date. In fact, this match with MJF to open up this week's episode of Dynamite is probably one of the most high-profile things he's done the whole time that he's been back in AEW, short of like his showing in the Continental Classic, which wasn't very memorable. There was a lot of big stars in that match, so it's easy to get lost in the shuffle. I really like the way they presented this match without any commercial breaks. I think that the positive reviews hit upon that. I think that really helped this match out. It felt like a pay-per-view match, which was cool because it doesn't look like Rush is going to be a part of the pay-per-view. MJF is going to go on to fight Hechicero at Forbidden Door, which should be phenomenal as well. But really liked Rush's work in this, and I really hope for something bigger for him. I was saying on stream a few days ago, I do a live stream every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come join us. And one thing we were talking about was the Ring of Honor champion and who is ever going to beat Mark Briscoe. And Rush would be one of those guys that I could see stepping into that role and really benefiting from it, especially if they're not willing to pull the trigger on him for any of the other titles that are out there, which, honestly, the roster being so stacked, I'm surprised that he was even given this showcase against MJF. The promo from MJF on Rush was probably one of the better things that could have happened for him in the company because it kind of told his story. I used it in this documentary because it outlined who he was, who he is, better than anything else that's been shown in the company to date. He just kind of showed up without much fanfare. He wasn't given much shine. He's had good matches, although they are kind of very similar. All of his matches are very similar, and that was one good thing about this match, is that it was different from the other matches that we were seeing, and we got to see a lot of new stuff from MJF, including a new finisher as well. It looks like MJF is now using a sheer drop brainbuster to finish his opponents. God knows what he's going to end up calling that. I imagine there'll be some clever name for it at some point, but I don't know, man. Rush looked really great. Let me know what you think about El Toro Blanco down in the comments below. Let me know if you'd like to have more videos like this on this channel. And make sure you like, subscribe. Think about signing up for that Patreon for just $1 a month. It really helps bring content like this to the channel. I'm sure there's some videos you guys have missed. Make sure you check them out. And Grave Diggers, keep digging.
He is I, and I am him, and I'm the undisputed trend, Matt Taven. And this dork behind the camera, some Melvin told me to say, Grave Diggers keep on digging. Whatever that means.
I am AEW wrestler and Ring of Honor tag champ, Mike Bennett. And remember, Grave Diggers keep digging, but not the monster truck. Even though my son really likes that monster truck, I kind of like Son of a Digger, and so I'm going off on a tangent about monster truck because my son really loves monster truck, but we're talking about the YouTube channel, so make sure, Grave Diggers, keep on digging, baby.
So this is Mark doing one half private party, saying what up to the Grave Diggers, and you doing your thing, bro.
Alright, like, subscribe, and watch another video, or be cursed. If you're cursed, that means the Grave Diggers will keep digging your graves. So. probably want you to.